And the Chiefs respond with the big hits of their own.
Now,
Good Chiefs support at the stadium today.
let's go! News, views, and behind-the-scenes chats from Sandy Park. This is the Exeter Chiefs podcast with Rhino and Bentos.
Welcome to another Exeter Chiefs podcast, this time from the after party here at Twickenham, where sadly the Chiefs have lost by a really small margin, by just 8 points in the final of the Aviva Premiership. Just going to let you hear a few audio clips before we have a chat about the game. Firstly, let's hear the team arriving and then the teams coming out. Just breaking out of the normal format of the podcast. Normally we stand and we talk. I, when recording this, went on a bit of a mission of collecting Chiefs names. So you're about to hear me speak to lots of different people, not necessarily in a running order as we would normally do the podcast. So here they are. Firstly, Ali Heather.
This is the Exeter Chiefs podcast.
Ali, how have you coached the team and the other coaches through the milestones this season? How do you go about that as a coach?
We don't really look at it like that. It's about improving the guys weekly, daily. You know, we invest a lot of time in the guys. They work incredibly hard, and we try and help them along the way. So we've made a few steps this year, obviously with our progress in Europe, but also obviously getting here, and you know, we'll learn by these days next season.
And for you, there's not really going to be a break because you're off with the Saxons. How are you feeling about that? You must be quite excited, yeah?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm loving the smile.
Yeah, I think I need to get over tonight first, and then we'll move on to it tomorrow. But it's a great opportunity for myself, but also the players. Again, we've got to invest a lot of time in them, and let's make them as good a players as they possibly can be, and hopefully onto some international honours.
How are you guys going to relax tonight now, and is that normal for in this sport?
It's important that we have a few beers together and chew it over a little bit. But the guys regularly have a couple of beers after a game. We let them do that. It's important part of their bonding, but also it gets them over the game, and they'll quickly get into next season. And I say we've got a lot of lessons this year. We've got to get better. We get better, and we're going to be seriously close in a couple of competitions, and they're big competitions now.
Let's have a quick listen to Rob Baxter and today's captain Stino.
I've said to a few people before this game that this game is never going to be the be all and end all for us anyway. This is going to step on where we want to go as a club and where we want to go as a team. And as I said, it took us maybe half an hour to learn, but not much more. And I've just said to the players, the great thing about how close we've come to Saracens is that it shows we're not getting much wrong. We've come pretty close today. We're not getting much wrong, and that should give us fantastic belief that if we can just keep pushing things a little bit harder, keep getting better, just a bit at a time, we're going to get close to these kind of games again. So I'd like to say we've learned all the lessons we're ever going to learn, but we're not. I want us to get into a Champions Cup final in the next few years. We'll probably have to learn some tough lessons in that. I don't know. We might learn some tough lessons going away in the semi-final next year because we haven't managed to get the home semi-final. We might be battling out to get in the top six. There's lots of lessons we're going to have to learn. We might for the first time lose our first 6 games of a Premiership season. We've never had to deal with that either. There's lots of things we've got to learn to deal with, but we will. That's what we do.
The atmosphere there was incredible. I think it's great to hear that even when we drove in, the Tomahawk chop going crazy, which was fantastic for us all, and especially you could feel the buzz. We were starting to get good momentum in that second half, and you could feel the crowd sort of pushing us through it, and we fed off it really well, I felt, and just a little disappointed we couldn't come up at the end there, but the support we have is incredible down in Devon, and it was great that we had so many other teams that were behind us today as well, and we're very appreciative of it.
This is the Exeter Chiefs podcast.
I managed to grab Jules. Have you worked out who set up this Exeter Cheeks yet?
No, I'm still dumbfounded by it. I'm still trying to work out who the mystery person is. I'll get to the bottom of it eventually, but
we're loving the pun.
I will get to the bottom. Yeah, exactly right.
So, out of the 77,000 or so in the stadium, how many do you reckon were supporting you boys today?
Look, the support here today was absolutely fantastic. I suppose the way we sort of do it before we run and before the game starts, just the Tomahawk chop going in full voice there, and then throughout the match it was amazing. It was one of those atmospheres that you remember for a lifetime.
And you're experienced in this sort of stuff. How do you now deal with this and move forward?
Look, well, I've been fortunate enough to win one and I've lost two now. But I suppose when you do lose one, that fight and I suppose that learning experience comes with it, and you come back bigger and stronger usually.
This is the Exeter Chiefs podcast.
Here with Baz from Chiefs TV. Let's get into the analysis. What did you reckon to that first half, Baz?
We took half an hour to warm up, just about held it to the second half. Second half we came out guns blazing, scored 2 tries. The Chiefs fans went absolutely ballistic, and with 5 minutes to go with 3 points in it, and I thought we were going to do it, and I think even the Saracens fans thought we were going to do it. But sadly, Sarries being Sarries, they scored a try in the last couple of minutes, and the score, we needed to score 8 to win, which was impossible in the time, but very respectable performance, and we did better than Racing Metro did 2 weeks ago. We did better than Leicester did last week, and we did better than Bath did a year ago, so that's not bad.
And we managed to get some other guests on the podcast today. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Emma, and I'm from Wimple near Exeter.
And what about yourself?
Kits, and I'm from Taunton.
Going in at half-time, it was 23-6. How were you feeling at that point, sat there?
Pretty depressed because we weren't playing our normal game. You know, we go week in, week out and watch the Chiefs play open, expansive rugby, and we would seemed like rabbits in the headlight and reacting to them rather than setting our own sort of game plan into place. So I was feeling a bit negative and really hoping that we could come out in the second half after a good Rob Baxter team talk and put in a performance, which I think we did.
And one man who put in a performance was Will Chudley. Let's hear from him now.
I don't think, we've got to look back and we've had a good season. Just we lost in the final, we still had a great season. We still, we know from that performance that we can mix it with the top boys. They're the dominant team in Europe, and we came up just short. So we're doing a lot of things right and a lot to build on for next season. It's great that what we've achieved, and I think if anything, just leaves a taste in our mouth, and we want to achieve more. I think it's definitely a building block to have higher expectations next year, and which increase our standards and better standards for us. So it's exciting times.
How were you feeling when Jack Yandel scored? Because that really started kicking things on for the Chiefs in the second half, didn't it?
I was feeling like I was on cloud 9 because I leapt out of my seat. No idea who it was who got over the line, but all I knew was the ref's arm had gone up. We had a try, Stino converted it, we were back in the game.
And when Noel scored that try, Baz, the place went absolutely nuts. What were you thinking at that point? Were you thinking, yeah, we're going to do this?
I actually thought, typical Exeter Chiefs, I thought the comeback is on. Stino converted it, so we were then only 3 points from a draw, 4 points from a victory, so anything was possible.
This is the Exeter Chiefs podcast.
I've managed to grab another one. Introduce yourself.
Tony Walker, how you doing?
Good. What about you?
We're right, mate, we're right. We came here to fight the fight, and we didn't quite get over the line, but look, in the day we put a performance in the second half that, obviously was what we were about. Little bit slip in the first half, but there we go.
How has this last season been for you, for having been at the club for so long and seeing it unfold?
The whole thing culminates into a lot of hard work from a lot of people from years gone by, and obviously we get a reward to come and play in a final. We're the lucky ones that obviously on the pitch and beside the pitch, but you only got to listen to what's going on here now. Still, the supporters are what it's all about, really. They've been fantastic all season.
News, views, and behind-the-scenes chat from Sandy Park. This is the Exeter Chiefs podcast.
I've managed to bag Harry Williams on the way out of the stadium. First season in the Prem. How's it been for you, mate?
I've really enjoyed the season. Basically, since Christmas, it's sort of picked up a lot, and playing a lot and stuff like that. And I've really enjoyed playing at Sandy Park and on the road. I'm quite gutted today about the results. I thought we could have done a bit better. I thought we could, in the first half especially, could have given a better account of ourselves. But obviously, it's been a good year, and I'm glad now to have a month off.
We're still here at Twickenham. We're going to wrap up the podcast in a few moments' time. Quickly, a word from Mitch Lees, though, who's been great today.
Unfortunately, when they scored that last try, I think a couple of lads, just put their heads down, going, we're so close, but. We're still just going to be mentally tough for next season and drive it on. And all credit to Saracens. They are, as you said, the kings of Europe. They have done the double, and for them, they've had their best season. Great squad, and congratulations to them. From us, we're happy. We're happy to lose to a side like that, but you can almost take it when it's a team that's playing that well and who are so dominant in Europe.
And thanks for listening to another Exeter Chiefs podcast. What an amazing season it's been, and I don't think when we started this a few months ago, me and Bentos in the studio talking to Stino in January, or I certainly didn't think we would be ending the season at Twickenham. So I hope the boys have a lovely summer, and we'll be back again in the new season to support the mighty Exeter Chiefs, and hopefully we'll be back here again this time next year.
Really a great game, especially right at the end, still playing for the points when we couldn't have
got 2 tries or 2 scores. It was a really good game. I loved it.
Next year we'll be back and we'll win it next year.
I'm gutted. But, we didn't come here to make up the numbers. We come here to win at the end of the day. But yeah, we'll be back bigger, better, stronger next year.
I'm a bit gutted, really. I thought we could have done it.
What do you make of the season as a whole, though, when you look at it as a collective?
You can't ask for more, really. Very good.
To finish in second this season, I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Hi, I'm Ginny. I thought the Chiefs had a not so great first half, but the second half was brilliant, and it was a pity that they didn't show up for the first half.
Overall feelings of the whole season?
Amazing. I've been following them from Stockholm, and it's been fantastic. So I've come over especially for the match, and I think they've done really, really well. So bring on next season.
Saracens are a good side, so full credit to them. But Chiefs have been brilliant.
Oh, we'll be here next season at the final, definitely, and we'll win it next year.
Your behind-the-scenes access to Sandy Park with Rhino and Bentos. The Exeter Chiefs podcast.